Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading in honor of the season of fall, we are going to be seeing what is about to fall into your lap. So we are going to be taking a look at blessings and opportunities that are coming your way, that are about to enter your life. We have 5 groups to choose from today, but for today's reading in particular, as I like to say with any reading that has to do with blessings coming your way, please don't limit yourself to how many groups you choose, because there is no limit to the number of blessings that the universe can bring to you. So whether you feel called to 1 group today, 2 groups, or even all of them, who knows? Please feel free to watch any and all that you feel drawn to see what is about to fall into your lap. So I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Apophyllite. Number 2 is Tangerine Quartz. Number 3 is Fluorite. Number 4 is yellow Nephrite. And number 5 is Garnet. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Apophyllite, this is going to be your reading. There's a couple of intuitive messages that are coming through before we get into the cards, so I just want to share those with you. The first thing is that group number 1, you need to know that everything is going to be okay. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenges, but that any challenges that do come your way, you are equipped to overcome them, and you're not alone. People want to see you succeed. You will be surprised with the level of understanding you receive from people around you with regards to something that's been on your mind. Like, I don't know, maybe you're afraid to tell someone something or afraid to tell people something, but then they're surprisingly really understanding and really supportive. And if there's like a particular period in your future that you're worried about, like maybe you're worried about the next few months, maybe you're worried about the next year, you need to know that you're going to get through this period well, like everything is going to be okay. And whatever challenges you face are only there so that you can thrive even more in the future. There was also a message coming through about, okay, I'm seeing like the color, like a bronzy color. So that could be literally bronze, or maybe you have an accessory that's kind of like a brownish bronzy color that is significant or that brings good luck to you. And there's a message as well about belly breathing. I don't know if that's the official word for it, but you know, when you breathe deeply, make sure that it's really filling up your lower belly. So maybe some of you are doing this, and this is like confirmation that that's going to be a good calming practice for you, or maybe your higher self is encouraging you to take some time every day to breathe in this way. And I also see a visual of like a really big butterfly that spreads over across your chest. I don't know what that means. There's like this big energetic butterfly in your chest. So maybe you're going through some sort of emotional transformation, or maybe you're embracing emotional delicateness and vulnerability, because if I think about a butterfly's wings, you know, they are very delicate, but they're also very intricate and beautiful. So something about a butterfly linked to your chest area or linked to your heart space, that's also coming through as significant. Some of you could be getting tattoos in that area, you know, like collarbone, rib cage, over your heart, that kind of thing. Wow, there's a lot of visuals coming up. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's clairvoyance in this group. I'm seeing like a spiral that goes from the outside in, and it's clockwise specifically. Okay, I think that's everything. So let's get into your cards now. These are the decks that we're going to be using today. I just saw 333 as well. We're going to be using the Avisomnia Tarot and the Inori Oracle cards, and together these are the KINO Tarot Fall Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I'm so excited about this bundle because I love these decks individually, and aesthetically and energetically they just go so well together. I think many of you have heard of Tarot Stack, but for those of you who are not familiar with them just yet, they are an online shop that carries a huge and always growing selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. They carry decks from creators from all over the world, of all different styles. There are decks for different levels, from beginner all the way to advanced. And not only do they create a platform where we can discover decks by indie creators, but they also work directly with these creators to help them get their decks printed and published and marketed out there into the world. They have a few original published decks so far and are planning more, which I'm really excited about. I'm also working on something with them, which I'm very excited about. So I'm going to have this bundle and the individual decks linked down below. So if there's one in particular that you feel like you resonate with, you can look at all of the cards in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. If you would like to get the bundle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. You can also get 10% off this Oracle deck because this is a Tarot Stack publication. So I will have those links down below. Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, and thank you so much to you guys for listening to that. And let's get into it. We are going to start with the tarot. This has quickly become one of my favorite tarot decks to use. What is about to fall into group number one's lap? Okay, I also have a visual of ice melting, and it's a good thing that the ice is melting. Some part inside of you that has been frozen, that has been stuck, some part of you that has gone cold is thawing out. And it's like a warm reunion with a certain part of yourself. Oh wow, that's a lot of cards. I actually wanted to get 6, so let's just see if we can get one more. Perfect. So for my group number ones, we have the Knight of Swords. We have Death. The Magician. Oh my goodness, you guys are powerful. Justice. The King of Cups. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, yeah, this is really powerful energy. I am noticing that there are a lot of ones. We have 1, 11, and 1 again. So 1111, that's so funny because like 1111 is coming through and we saw 333. And then the Death card is 13, 1, 3. So 1s and 3s seem to be significant for this group. A date that has those numbers in it could be significant, like the 31st, the 13th, any date that's made up of 1s and 3s. The year 2013 or 2011 could have also been a significant time for you. There's 3 major arcana here, which is a pretty big percentage. Half the cards are major arcana. So this is a pretty significant and pivotal, interesting. I was gonna say it's a pivotal point in your life, but maybe that pivotable slip is also meaningful. Like you've reached a point in your life where you can pivot, where you can change course, where you can change the end of a story. You can decide how something ends, or you can decide if you want to change the direction you're going. This period, it will be easy to do that. There's also a strong masculine energy coming through for this group. So you could be really in your masculine energy during this time, or your masculine energy is calling you to use it for confident decision making, for confident action taking, for confident molding and bending of your reality. I feel like this is not really a time of your life that's asking you to fall back and be receptive. I think this is a time of your life that is asking you to really step up and take action and control the direction that your life goes. This is a time where you are able to do that. So, one thing that is about to fall into your lap with the Knight of Swords is some kind of epiphany that brings a solution to a problem you have. And I'm hearing it was staring you in the face, but for some reason you couldn't see it before. So this could be like a decision that you're stuck on. I don't know if I should go this way or that way. It could be a creative block that you've been struggling with, like you don't know how to finish a project. You don't really know the direction that you want to take a project. There's something you really have to tell someone, but you don't know how. Like, what's the best way to do it? The best timing to bring something up, and you're suddenly having a light bulb moment of how you can like confront someone or tell them how you really feel. A sudden epiphany about a relationship problem. Like, things are kind of starting to click for you, and things are kind of starting to make sense in a way that maybe they didn't before. And also for some of you, there's a message coming through about like a truth that you had heard many times before, but it just never really clicked for you. And now, like, that very same thing, how do I describe this? It's like something you've heard so many times, but maybe you're hearing it from a different person or with a different combination of words, and now suddenly it's really, really clicking for you. And you know, for example, if everybody says to you, don't worry, it's going to be okay. And you're like, yeah, I know we're not supposed to worry. But then one day you have an epiphany and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to worry because everything's going to be okay. Like, it's something you've heard so many times, but now it's just really clicking. I hope that makes sense. And whatever solution you find, you need to know that it's going to be best for everybody involved. And so maybe the solutions you had previously thought of, it didn't really click for you because maybe it either felt too self-serving to solve problems in that way, or it felt like you weren't considering yourself enough in the equation. And so nothing ever really felt like the perfect solution. But I think for whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're debating on right now, you're finding the perfect solution that is going to be like, you don't have to betray yourself, and you can be considerate to everybody involved. There could also be a significant relationship of yours that is about to speed up a lot. Like, I don't know, imagine like you've been dating someone for years and there's been no talks about marriage. And then all of a sudden you're talking about marriage, you're getting engaged, you're getting married in the span of 6 months. It's something like that. Another example would be if you've been at a job for years and you've never gotten any sort of promotion or raise, and then suddenly within a month, like your salary doubles and you're like at the top of the company. It just seems, it might seem like it's coming out of nowhere, but it's really a culmination of the years. I think it's years for many of you. The years of effort that you've put in. There could be a contract that is being rewritten and it will be more in your favor now. You know, the articles of a contract being changed, or some rules or regulations in your company, in your country are being changed and now they're much more in your favor. Some process being sped up, periods being shortened could also work in your favor. So for example, maybe in a certain country, it was like you have to live here for 10 years before you can apply for citizenship. And they just shortened it to 5 years. And this really works in your favor. Or once you get a permit, you have to wait a year before you can apply for the license. And now that's been shortened to 3 months. Something being shortened, a period being shortened is really going to help you. It's going to make your life easier. It could also make your work style or workflow more efficient. some processes speeding up will work in your favor. People around you maybe are going to start being more direct, which is really helpful, or you're going to have the courage to be more direct with people. So it's like we're not wasting time beating around the bush. We can just get to the point of what we really want to say. Because together, this feels like communication that is swift, yet considerate. And maybe we were conflating swift and direct communication with being rude or like a lack of thought, but that's not the case at all. Like you can be thoughtful and kind and considerate to everybody, but also be to the point and not, there's something like we're not wasting time beating around the bush. So if you've felt like you're kind of going in circles with someone in an exchange, or things are just not moving forward, like we're about to get really direct with it, we're about to make it happen. We're like someone who's been dragging their feet, whether that's you or another party, they're finally taking action and getting the ball rolling on something. I'm gonna go get Yumi. I think she wants to come downstairs.
お昼寝しなさい、しも
So the next thing that I see here with the Death card and the King of Cups, I do feel like this is something more that's happening inside of you rather than something coming into your life. But I see that you're really going to start feeling that your capacity to love is expanding. Ooh, that feels so good to say. Your capacity to love, to cherish your loved ones, and to be vulnerable is expanding. But it's not just for your loved ones and the people in your life. I also think this is your capacity to just love people, like to love humanity, to love the collective. I feel like that's really being blown open. With the Death card, intuitively, I feel that this may be the result of some kind of loss that you went through, like losing a loved one, whether that's, someone leaving your life or someone leaving the earthly plane, whether it's a human or an animal, just going through some sort of loss or grief, you will find has really expanded your, oh my gosh, that's making me really emotional. It really expanded your capacity to love. And I just heard it's so beautiful because it's kind of like the gift that they left you with. That's the last gift that they left for you. And I think you'll notice soon that the heavier feelings of grief or heartbreak that you might have been going through are softening now. I think when you miss a loved one, it never goes away entirely, but it will soften, and you'll find that what those emotions left behind is now your heart is so much bigger, and you can hold so much more love and gratitude for the people in your life, and hold your loved ones a lot closer and express your love and appreciation for them more frequently, and really let that warmth fill you up. And also just feeling more compassion for humanity as a whole, like for life as a whole, because I think you just have this new realization of how precious life is, and how really at the end of the day, we're all the same. We all just want to find love. We all just want to love and be loved, and our struggles and our longings and our fears, they're really not all that different. So I think you always were a compassionate soul if you're coming through as the King of Cups. Like, this is a pretty highly evolved energy. You don't become the King of Cups overnight. So this energy was already in you, but maybe it's just resurfacing at this time, or it's really growing. And also that you're no longer afraid of being vulnerable. And also you're not afraid of heartbreak anymore. And I mean, that doesn't mean you're like, come break my heart, obviously, but you know that it's a real possibility in this life. In fact, it's inevitable if you're living with if you want to be a lover person, if you want to be someone who experiences love in this life, heartbreak is an inevitable part of that because nothing is permanent with this death card, but you're not afraid of that heartbreak anymore because I think you've seen how it transforms you. You've seen how it really grows your appreciation for life and your appreciation for love, and you're grateful for every experience that comes your way, that comes and goes. It's almost like you've embraced the impermanence of life. You've embraced the sort of fleetingness of life and love and come to find the beauty in it and an appreciation for how it's really like transformed you in a way that nothing else really could. Wow. You could be just looking at this King of Cups who has the jellyfish in a fishbowl. There could be a companion animal that is about to enter your life, or a reunion with a companion animal, or something to take care of that brings you joy. It could also be plants. Yeah, just anything that you can take care of that is going to make you happy, then that is going to give you more sense of purpose and more sense of fulfillment. You may even start volunteering to care for animals or something like that. Yeah, there's animals around you. Finally, we have the Magician and the Ace of Wands. So you're really gonna feel on a roll when it comes to your creativity and your self-expression. I'm hearing the word banger, which we would often use about a song, like this song is a banger, but I think you can use it for anything. You know, like this book is a banger. You're making a banger or multiple bangers. That's something that's about to enter into your life. And I think it's the inspiration. You know, with the Ace of Wands, I often see it as like a sudden burst of inspiration from your higher self and channeling something really cool. And the Magician too, the Magician summons his genius from the cosmos, from the divine. So you're about to start getting some really cool inspirations for projects, channeling really interesting messages, really interesting melodies. Maybe that's for those of you who are musicians. Very interesting combinations and fusions of different styles. And you're about to be like pumping out a lot of works that you really, really like. And that's what matters the most. This is also going to be a really good feeling for you, is that you make something and you're not even thinking about if other people are gonna like it. You're just making it and you like it so much. And you're like, I don't even care if people don't like this because I really like this. And this is really freaking fun. And you know what? You're gonna find that the more you focus on just making what you like, the more others like it because they feel your soul in it. And that's really what it comes down to. It's the soul of it. It's the energy of it. So, you know, I just see this transition of going from making something and being like, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if I really like this. Maybe I should scrap this. Or like, I don't know if other people are going to like it, to birthing these ideas and being like, this is golden. I don't even need to tweak this. This is a banger. This is a certified banger. And it came out so naturally. And I'm really thinking of birth as an analogy, because sometimes people just give birth and the baby just slides on out. Like, yep, I just gave birth in my living room. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm thinking of it like that, but that's what it's gonna feel like. You just birthed this masterpiece and it was like, it just happened so effortlessly and it happened so naturally. And from the first try, maybe it's, you know, from the first draft, you're like, this is perfect. From the first take of recording something, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even need to change this. I don't even need to do this over. This is perfect. This is magical. So you're birthing some kind of creative genius. I'm also hearing I still got it. So maybe that's a message for those of you who were worried if you were losing your Midas touch, if you were losing your spark or your inspiration, your mojo. this is really making you feel like I still got it. There's some kind of creative renaissance that is happening. And there's also a message about feeling more attractive because of how cool and impressive the things that you're making are. It kind of boosts your self-esteem, which is really nice. And might even affect how you present yourself physically. You know, when you get your mojo back, you want to take more care of like your body or take more care of your appearance, so that confidence kind of bleeds out into other areas of your life. I also think this is a period where you're going to be receiving a lot of external validation for the things that you do, which is so ironic because you're just making what you like to make. You're not thinking like, what are other people going to like? What are other people going to validate? And I can see someone laughing kind of bitterly. Like, oh my gosh, I spent so long worrying if other people were gonna like what I do, and the second I'm just like, fuck it and make whatever I want to make, now everybody likes it. It's like it's one of the ways the universe is kind of teases us. It's maybe how you're feeling it. It's a teasing kind of irony of the universe. So you could be also becoming the star within a group, or the person who really stands out, where maybe before it was always somebody else in the group. Interesting. Like maybe there's one coworker who's always getting the praise, and now you're getting that praise, and it's kind of like the tables have turned. You know, I was also thinking of a group as in a musical group, because I was imagining a scenario where it's one member who's always getting the most lines to sing, or they always get the best parts, or they always get the parts that showcase the vocal ability, and everyone else has maybe like one line in the song, or they're just there for visuals or something like that. So you could be having kind of an underdog moment where you're going from being the member who only gets one line to now you get to sing the main part. You get to sing the best parts of the song, or you're getting most of the lyrics now. And it's just nice to have that moment to shine and to finally be recognized. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards for you, my darlings, in group number 1. Whoop! How many is that? 1, 2, 3. That's so funny. It's 5 again. When we were shuffling your tarot deck, 5 cards fell out at the same time. And then 5 cards fell out at the same time for these as well. I now live in my own paradise. This is really beautiful because this is really a confirmation of you crafting your dream life and crafting your dream reality. So that's that magician energy. That's that masculine energy that we felt at the start of the reading, where you're really taking the reins and you're telling life where you want it to go and aligning your actions with that. You're really making stuff happen. Oh my gosh. Literally just said you're making stuff happen, and then we have miracles keep happening to me. So you are making miracles happen because your beliefs align with them, your actions align with them, you're confident. My intuition is trustworthy. You need to know during this time in your life that your judgment is very sound. You have the Justice card, so you know what is the best path for yourself and for how your choices will affect others. You're good at taking all of that into consideration. And you need to know that whatever decisions you make, that yes, you have given it the right amount of thought. You have given it the right amount of planning. You have considered all the possibilities. Maybe some of you are afraid of like, is there something I'm missing? Did I come to this conclusion in a faulty way? Did I come to this conclusion that this is the best path because of my own biases, or because there's something I'm not seeing, or there's someone I'm not considering? And Spirit is saying, no, you've really analyzed the situation the best you could. You see all of the blind spots, you see all of the pros and cons, and you need to know that the decision you're making is truly informed, and like it's based on the facts, and it's based on your sound judgment. Trust in your ability to make those calls. I heard to make the hard calls, to make the hard decisions. Wow. The answers I seek appear in my dreams. Pay attention to your dreams right now. The epiphany you're receiving could come through a dream. This cloud is becoming transparent, so confusion is fading away. This is a waning moon, so loose ends are being tied up, and we're getting ready for a fresh start. Some of you could be getting solutions about how to end something you've been wanting to end, because that can be very uncomfortable when you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to walk away from this, but I don't know how to tell people, or I don't know what's the best timing to do it. So you could be getting answers about that. Wow. And then we have, my voice is worthy of being heard. That's amazing. Group number 1, this is such a powerful reading, and I'm so excited for you. And it was an honor to be able to deliver these messages to you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack as well for collaborating with me. It is always a pleasure. Thank you to the creators of these beautiful decks. I'm so excited and happy to be using this bundle. So I'm gonna have the bundle and the individual decks linked down below so that you can check out all of the cards in the decks if you feel called to. And if you would like to get the bundle, remember you can get a 10% discount with the code KINO. You can also get a 10% discount on just the Inori cards with the same code. So thank you guys so much. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of, we have over 100 now, timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. We do 2 a month, so I will have that linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher selves, and your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Tangerine Quartz, this is going to be your reading. There's a few intuitive messages that came through, so before we get into your cards, I just wanted to share those with you. And actually the first thing is that when I sat down to get ready to film your group, it was 11:44. So 11:44 could be a significant number for you. I also had the visual of a husky dog, and specifically I was seeing their face, like the husky dog was staring straight at me head on, and it was, you know, black and white with piercing blue eyes. So a husky dog could be significant for some of you. It could also be a wolf, but that was a very vivid image that I had. And then a song got in my head that I literally haven't heard since I was a kid. And I didn't even know what it was called. I only remembered the melody and like a few lines from the chorus. So I Googled it, and this song is Upside Down by A-Teens. That's the name of the group. It's like upside down, in front of ceiling. I used to listen to it when I was a kid, but I never knew what it was called or like who the artist was. So I have some notes from that. It's called Upside Down, and the group is from Sweden, so that could also be significant. It came out in 2001. And then because they're called A-Teens, then I thought of ATEEZ, like the K-pop group. So the 80s could also be significant. The song is in the key of A, so the letter A could be significant somehow. So these are all things that were coming through that could be confirmation that this is your group. No worries if this doesn't like spark any confirmation for you, just for those who may need it. And then also something that was coming through is going on a spontaneous last minute trip. That could be something that you're doing soon. And when I wrote this down, I just felt called to draw a 4-leaf clover next to it. So you could be spontaneously going on a last minute trip that ends up being very, very lucky for you. Or just if you get spontaneously invited out anywhere, that could actually end up bringing you very good luck. And I saw 222 when I said that. So perhaps going out spontaneously like that could lead to you making some really important connections or meeting a very important specific person. Okay, so let's get into our cards now. These are the decks that we're going to be using today. We have the Avisomnia Tarot and the Inuri Oracle cards, and together these are the KINO Tarot Fall Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I am obsessed with this bundle. I love these decks individually, and I just find that they go so well together. For those of you who are not familiar with Tarot Stack yet, they're an online shop that carries a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks, and they feature decks from creators from all over the world, of all different styles, all different levels as well. So whether you are a beginner in reading cards or advanced or a professional, there's going to be decks there for you, and their collection is always growing. I am so grateful for the work that they do in this community. Not only do they have this place for us to discover new decks and connect with new creators that we may resonate with, but they also work directly with indie creators. So for these creators who have made their decks and just need some help getting it published or getting it marketed, Tarot Stack is there to work directly with them, and 50% of their profits actually go towards funding these new indie deck projects. They have already published a few original decks and are working on more, which I'm very excited about. I'm working on a little something with them too, so stay tuned for that. I am going to have this bundle linked down below, and I'm also going to have the individual decks. So if there's one in particular that you feel like you resonate with, you can look at every single card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do feel called to the bundle, you can get a 10% discount using the code KINO. You can also get 10% off this Inuri Oracle with the code KINO because this is one of their original decks. So thank you so much, Tarot Stack. Thank you so much to you guys, and let's get into your reading. We are going to start with the tarot. What is going to fall into group number 2's lap? I'm also thinking of that genre of music called vaporwave, so that could be significant to some of you. Or maybe vapor or like vaping is significant somehow. What is about to fall into group number 2's lap? Group number 2, what is about to fall in your lap? Okay, it's not really about to. It's gonna take a bit of time, but the universe is cooking. The universe is cooking something, and you're gonna start smelling it. It's like, the dish is not ready yet, but you can smell it from the kitchen, and you know something good is coming. I also have the visual of, you know, when you're sitting at a restaurant and you're really hungry, and you see a server walk by with a tray of like sizzling food, and it smells so good. You're like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. So you might see people around you are starting to get their blessings. And this is a premonition of what's to come for you. So pay attention to what your peers are receiving, Pay attention to how they're leveling up because you're next. That sounds like threatening, but you're next. It's a good thing. We have the 8 of Wands. So interesting, there's a bit of delay in this card coming out, but then it finally did come out. Any plans that have been postponed for you, especially postponed indefinitely, are going to be brought back up again. Something that was once postponed, we are back. We're back on it. You could also be receiving communication from someone that was a bit delayed, especially someone who told you they were going to get back to you by a certain date, or someone who told you they were going to do something by a certain time and then it just kind of didn't happen. That person will be coming back, and I do think they'll have some reason for their absence or some reason for their delay that is understandable to you. And now that they've come back around, they're actually able to offer you something even better or collaborate or come together with you in an even more meaningful way. If you give people grace and if you give them the time to level up, it will be beneficial for everybody, because the new version they'll have become and the new version you'll have become, you'll be able to do something even better together. So delays in plans or delays in collaborations, delays in unions or reunions with someone, it is really going to work in your favor. You'll be receiving some good news soon. Virtually, I want to say, via email, via phone call. You could also be working remotely. For example, you live in this country, but you're hired by a company in this country or in a different city, let's say, and you're working remotely for them, or you're collaborating with someone who lives in another city or country. You could be jet setting, you could be traveling somewhere. You're busy, you're making moves. Life is about to get very eventful for you. You're going to be multitasking on multiple different projects that are all equally exciting. Don't hold back with how much you talk or how long of a message you send. This is going to work in your favor too. You might have a tendency to be like, oop, I'm talking too much. Oop, I'm sharing too much. Or like, I'm getting too excited. Let me stop rambling. But in this case, your long ramblings and your passionate speech is going to work in your favor, because whoever you're talking to, they love to see your enthusiasm, and it comes through that you're very, very knowledgeable about whatever it is you're talking about. You might think you're just rambling, but to people around you, you actually sound very smart, because you are. You're very smart, you're very insightful, and so the more you share what you're passionate about, it's going to leave a very good impression on people. So this is not a time to like shut yourself up or to be a person of few words. This is a time to really just let it all out and say what you want to say. The cards are taking some time, group number 2. You'll get yours. Your time is coming. Some of you feel like, when is my time coming? Maybe you feel like you've been overlooked in some way. It's just been a long time of disappointment or plans falling through, or feeling like you're being ignored, and it's like your time is really coming to shine. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Hanged Man, the 6 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 9 of Cups. Oh my gosh, this is really nice. For some reason, I feel like the 6 of Wands and the 9 of Cups is a combination I've been seeing frequently recently. If you are watching other readings or doing your own readings, even receiving a reading, look out for these cards. See if maybe they're following you around. And they both have Jupiter energy, which is really nice. That is an energy. Even this has Jupiter energy because it's Sagittarius vibes. So Sag season could be significant, like late November to late December. Pisces season as well, because Pisces, Jupiter. So late February to late March could also be an important time for you. This is an energy of expansion. You're expanding, you're growing, you're taking up more space. You're becoming abundant and wealthy in all ways that you desire. So the Six of Wands is here to clarify the Eight of Wands. So we just talked about this Eight of Wands energy a lot, of how it's like, plans are moving forward, especially things that had been postponed or fallen through. And you're receiving some good news, and this is going to lead to your success and recognition. What is about to fall into your lap is, and I don't even want to say fall into your lap, because then it feels like, oh, it's just being handed to you. But you worked really hard for this, group number 2, for years. And what is about to happen for you is finally getting the recognition that you feel you deserve. And that you can confidently say, I deserve this recognition. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with knowing that you're talented. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you have worked hard. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I deserve success. Okay? Like, some of you need to hear that. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I think I deserve more recognition. I think I should be more successful than I am now. Like, yeah, it's true. And, I feel like in our society, we don't like when people know they're good. Like, yes, you can be beautiful, but you can't know that you're beautiful, because then you're cocky. Or like, you can be talented, but you can't know that you're talented. You can't know that you deserve recognition. It's weird like that. And I think you're not going to shame yourself like that anymore. I know I have something of value to offer, and I want to be recognized. Like, no shame in that. And I feel like this is you finally getting that recognition that has been such a long time coming. So, of course, this depends on your goals, but, for some of you, this could be recognition from your peers, from your personal inner circle. It could be recognition from your field, from the whole industry. It could be recognition from the public. Like, it really depends how big you want to go with this. But for those of you who are looking for public recognition for what you do, maybe you want to grow a following, maybe you want to gain some level of fame, the energy here is totally favorable for that. Looking at these arrows, you're going up, A lot of the time in the Eight of Wands, the wands are coming down. These are going up and the birds are flying up. So there's a feeling of you, I said up so many times, there's a feeling of you being on the up and up with this energy. Finding your people who vibe with what you do and creating a base of supporters, whether it's supporters, customers, fans, followers. You're kind of finding your people that you can grow with. And I think finding collaborators that you really resonate with as well. This energy is so beautiful. The Two of Swords clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, because you no longer have to make choices because of lack. You can make choices because of abundance. What do I mean about this? Let's say there's item 1 and item 2, and you really want to buy item 1, but because of financial reasons or because of practical reasons, you have to go with item 2. You don't have to make decisions like that anymore, where it's like, I really want this, but this is more affordable. I really want this, but this is more practical. That's flipping. So now you can get what you really actually want to get, what is best going to serve you. And there's something about added functionality or added features, almost as if like you were purchasing a computer for your work or for your creative endeavors, and there's this one computer that's like, it has a really strong chip and it's really new and it can do all these things, and that's the one that would really best serve you in your endeavors. That's the one that would really elevate your work and elevate your working experience. But because of material factors, because of financial factors, like, okay, I debated, but I'm gonna have to go with this one that's like, it's more affordable or it's more compact, but it kind of hinders your workflow. It's like, you don't have to make those decisions that hinder you anymore. You can actively choose the thing that's going to elevate your experience. And you can actively choose the thing. It doesn't even just have to be about productivity and workflow, but choosing the thing that's more comfortable. You know, for example, like getting a premium economy versus economy because there's more leg room, the seat is more comfortable, or something like that. You don't just have to choose what is more affordable or like what is more practical. You can also choose because of your own comfort. You can choose because of your own luxury. I feel like this is you having more opportunities to, and I don't even want to say treat yourself because that makes it sound frivolous, you know? It's really just nurturing yourself. Nurturing yourself, rewarding yourself, investing in yourself. I feel like when we say things like treat and spoil, it sounds frivolous, and that's not what it is. You're actively making choices that will make you more comfortable and like do what you want to do better. So there's definitely financial wealth that is coming to you. And I even thought this because the Queen of Pentacles is surrounded by Jupiter cards. So this queen is surrounded by abundance and an abundance mindset. This queen is surrounded by growth. And up means that something is going to continue increasing. So you'll probably notice over the next few years, like you made more this year than last year, and you make more next year than you did this year. And you're going to notice that income increasing over the next few years. For those of you who are freelance or self-employed, you may also be able to start charging more for what you do, like for your services, for your products, either because you're in high demand or you were able to increase the quality of what you put out, or you're just gaining more confidence and you know what you're actually worth now. My hands feel very warm right now. So you could be doing something with your hands, like making something with your hands, or maybe there's, oh, that's actually very sweet because it's both of my hands. So having Jupiter on either side of you, maybe you have like two spirit guides on either side of you who are holding your hand and like helping you manifest this abundance. Even the fact that there's two birds here. You may have spirit guides who are kind of like a couple in some way. Which actually there's a message that came up like that in an Instagram reading. I don't know, did I already post that? Maybe I'm posting it soon. I don't remember. But there's like a message from your spirit guides Instagram reading. And one of the groups had like a spirit guides who were a couple, like that specific energy was coming through. So maybe this group, you resonate with that. And then we have the Hanged Man clarified by the Nine of Cups. So this is really like, I feel like I would sound like a broken record because this is just reiterating what we've talked about. The Nine of Cups means a wish of yours is coming true. That with the Hanged Man, literally, that you had been left hanging on. I just saw 2020 as I said that. So for some of you, maybe you've been, oh, interesting, because 2020 was the year that shit hit the fan all over the world. So maybe you had some plans and then like Corona happened and the plans got canceled and then Corona ended, but we never revisited those plans. You know, it could be something like that. Maybe that's just a confirmation for some of you, but it's interesting that I was just saying like you've been left hanging, and right when I looked up it was 2020 on the camera. So yeah, the Hanged Man is like stagnation. We're not moving. We're just hanging here. So something you've really been waiting on, but it was like indefinitely. You know, it's one thing to say this event has been postponed to next year, but I feel like for you, it was like these plans have been postponed until further notice. And the further notice, just like it never came. Someone could have just, I'm hearing someone maybe fell off the face of the earth, like you stopped hearing from someone. Not like you had a falling out, but, you know, plans were shaping up and then someone just never got back to you. And now they're suddenly coming back with an offer. But again, it's like the delay works in your favor. So whatever they're coming back with, it's going to be even better than whatever you had before. And the Hanged Man is always about like seeing things from a different perspective and understanding that even in your hanging, you are where you're meant to be. The universe doesn't keep you somewhere just to mess with you or just for fun. There's always an intentional reason behind it. Whether something's happening later than you expected or sooner than you expected, it's always in divine timing. And so the Hanged Man, it kind of dawns on them of, oh, that's why it was delayed. Well, delayed from our perspective. That's why it had to happen at this time. And I'm glad it happened later than I expected because it's so much better that it's happening now. And that brings a sense of peace of, you know, all this time I was getting frazzled and getting all tied up in knots about when is this going to happen? But the universe had my back the entire time and now it's happening at the perfect time. So it's like a wish coming true and then realizing it was all happening in divine timing. And something about that message is actually making me feel quite emotional. The Nine of Cups also feels comfortable. It feels easy. It feels stress-free and drama-free. So I do think that things are going to be largely smooth sailing for you from here on out. Okay, let's get some oracle cards for you. What else do my group number 2s need to know? I am one with light and love. Ooh, I am in tune with my inner guidance. Oh, I really like those together because they both talk about like being in alignment with something. So how do you know that you're in tune with your inner guidance? Because it will feel like this. It will feel loving and it will feel light. And this is something, if you've experienced this, you will know. But our intuition can give us a negative message or a warning message, and it still feels loving and it still feels light. You know, there's been instances where it really looks like my life is going in the toilet, but my intuition deep down is saying like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And then even in the face of that chaos, I feel love and light. That's always a very interesting experience. But also, even when our intuition is telling us something like, no, that's not good for us. Like, don't mess with this. This person is bad. Like, walk away. Even in those moments, it will feel loving and light. So, and it will never feel like pressure, you know? It will never feel like your intuition doesn't pressure you. Your intuition doesn't scream at you. Your intuition doesn't force you. It just feels gentle. It feels gentle and it feels right. And it's so important to quiet that anxiety. I've said this many times before, but like it is possible that your intuition and your anxiety are saying the same thing, but you'll never know that unless you quiet the anxiety. What else do my group number 2s need to know? Which way does this go? Ooh, when I look at this makes me think of astral projection, because I'm imagining this white blob is like your physical body sleeping, and then this yellow blob is like your energetic body kind of levitating out of you. I don't know, that's the feeling that I get. This card can be interpreted based on your own intuition. So take a look at this and see if there's anything else that comes up for you. I don't know, when I look at this, I see this is the physical body, and this is like the energetic body floating above or floating up and out of it. I love this kind of cards where you can just look at the visual and intuit what it means for you. Okay, what else for my group number 2s? Ooh, I am deserving of love, kindness, and abundance. And you're giving yourself permission to really say this with your chest and really admit it, like admit that you feel this way. You seem to have been on a journey in the past that maybe conditioned you to make your desires smaller, or to act like, to act like you don't deserve things, even though you do. And for some reason, I was just thinking about a boss. It could be any sort of authority figure. It could be a parent as well, a family member, where it's like, whenever they gave you something, you had to like kiss the ground they walk on and be like, oh, thank you for bestowing this upon me. I am so unworthy. You know what I mean? If in any way you acted like you think you deserve this, it would cause problems. Yeah, some of you had a power dynamic like that, where you had to be grateful for the smallest crumbs and like praise them for giving you the smallest thing and being like, oh, I could never be so worthy of your generosity. And maybe at this point in our journey, we are losing that conditioning. We are unconditioning ourselves to be that way, because it becomes a habit, and then it becomes a second nature. So the universe is warmly encouraging you to open back up and to say, is that all you got, universe? Because I'm deserving of more. Is that all you got? Because I actually want more. The universe is actually encouraging you to ask for more after so long of thinking that asking for more is like unacceptable. It's preposterous. No, you deserve more and you're gonna get more. And I just want to show you at the bottom of the deck, everything is going smoothly. So there's our 9 of Cups, stress-free. The plans are rolling and they're rolling smoothly. So group number 2, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack once again for collaborating with me. I'm going to have this bundle linked down below if you'd like to check it out. I'll also link the individual decks if there's one in particular you want to look at. You can look at all of the cards in the deck on their website. And if you do feel called to the bundle, remember you can get a 10% discount using the code KINO. And you can also get this individual oracle deck 10% off with the same code. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 timeless exclusive pick a card readings, just like the ones we do on my channel. And we have 2 more every month, and you can decide the topics for those. So that's going to be linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Fluorite, this is going to be your reading. There is a bit of an intuitive message coming through, which I think could be an energy check if you wanted to use it as such to confirm whether this is your group. But there's this overall sense of something is going well, but you still feel that it's too soon to tell. So this could be with regards to something specific in your life. Like, for example, maybe you just started seeing somebody and you really like them and it seems to be going really well. But then there's kind of this part of you that's like, it's too soon to tell. Like, let me not get my hopes up. But then for others of you, it feels more just like a general feeling across your life that things are going well, and it's that kind of skeptical, things are going too well right now. Like, when is the universe gonna pull the rug from under me? Almost like things are going well and you're waiting for, like, I heard it like waiting to be disappointed, which that's sad if that's the case, but it's like, surely things cannot be going this perfectly. Surely things cannot be this peaceful right now. So it's like this feeling that things are going well, but also feeling apprehensive. So if you're feeling that way right now, then that could be a confirmation that this is your group. No worries. These little messages at the beginning are just like additional confirmation for those who may need it. But I also did want to mention that I just looked up at the camera timer and saw 147. And this number to me specifically lets me know that whatever you're desiring right now is in alignment with your destiny, and whatever you're desiring right now is in alignment with your highest good. So you don't have to worry about like, should I manifest this? Is this really good for me? If you want it, then the answer is yes. Okay? If you want it, the answer is yes. You need to know that. And I also just saw 222. Okay, so let's get into your cards. Woo! Okay, ring. This ring is a little bit too big, so she's always doing a lot and flying off. But anyway, these are the decks that we're going to be using today. We have the Avisomnia Tarot and the Inuri Oracle cards, and together these are the KINO Tarot Fall Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I absolutely love this bundle, and I love the individual decks, and they just go so well together. I think a lot of you guys are familiar with Tarot Stack already, but just in case you haven't heard of them before, they're an online shop that carries a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks from creators from all over the world with all different styles and genres, from all different levels as well. So whether you're a beginner in reading cards or advanced or even a professional, there's going to be decks there that you can use and that you will resonate with. And I'm just so grateful for the work that Tarot Stack does in our community. Not only did they create this place for us to discover and connect with indie deck artists, but they also work directly with these creators to help them get their deck published and marketed. So it's really wonderful for deck creators who just want to focus on their craft, but maybe need a bit of extra help with like the business side of things. So I'm really grateful to them that they do that work in this community. I may be working on a little something with them as well, which I'm very excited about. So I'm gonna have this deck bundle, the bundle, so both decks linked down below, and also the individual decks. If you want to check out one of them in particular, you can see all of the cards in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do feel called to the bundle, you can get a 10% discount using the code KINO. You can also get 10% off the Inori cards with the same code, because this is a Tarot Stack original publication. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack. Thank you so much to you guys for listening to that. And let's get into your reading. So we are going to start with the Avisomnia Tarot. The word like drone footage is coming to my mind, which is probably really just for a few of you. Like if you're a photographer or you're getting some photos taken or you're getting some footage for something, you might be getting some like really cool drone footage where you can, you know, see the bird's eye view of something or get like a really nice landscape. Which that makes me think of upping your budget. So some of you, the company you work for or in your own projects, you could be increasing the budget so you can make cooler stuff. Okay. What is about to fall into your lap? Group number 3. What's about to fall into your lap? It's so funny. I'm seeing a puppy. Like I saw a husky dog for group number 2, and now I'm seeing a little puppy. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, I don't know if you guys take notes when you watch readings, maybe sometimes, or maybe you take notes when you do your own readings, but there's something about going back to revisit notes that you took about a previous reading that maybe you had forgotten about, because you'll see that it was spookily accurate. There's just this feeling of like, oh my gosh, that personal reading I got a year ago, and revisiting the notes and being like, oh my God, all of this stuff actually happened. We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Ace. Ooh, okay. Ace of Wands. I see you. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the Queen of Wands. My goodness. Okay. Okay, as soon as I saw the Knight of Cups, I knew what this message is going to be about. Love is in the air, group number 3. Love is coming into your life, a new love. This could be a new person coming in. Could be a new animal, because we were talking about a puppy. But it's either a new person entering your life or new feelings that are developing for someone who has been in your life. You know, when someone's been in your life for a while, but then suddenly you're kind of looking at them in a new way and you're like, wait a minute, I kind of have a crush on you. Wait a minute, you're kind of cute. Like new feelings are blossoming, and I'm hearing it makes you feel younger. So I don't know, maybe it's a crush that kind of you would have had in your teenage years or like when you were younger, and maybe you thought you wouldn't feel this way again, like you're kind of past that, but it's this new and exciting love that is coming in. I do think for many of you, it's a crush, or it doesn't have to be romantic, but I think it's someone who you just find to be so endearing, so adorable that, you know, you just, maybe the puppy's metaphorical. That same reaction you would get when you see a really cute puppy, like the like this is pinching cheeks, you know, like you're so cute. That might be how you feel about the person, or that person could have puppy energy, like they're just so pure and sweet and enthusiastic. And the car beeping outside is maybe a confirmation of that. So yeah, there's a new love coming into your life, and it is going to end up being quite a muse for you. So it's going to inspire you in your creations. For those of you who are creatives, you might end up making a lot of works about this person or about this new love and your emotions. If you don't create, I think that this love is going to give a new meaning to the works that you consume. So, for example, someone falling in love and then being like, oh my gosh, now I really understand what all those love songs were talking about. You kind of resonate with it on a level that you didn't before, because you're deep in that feeling firsthand. You're really in your feelings in a good way, in a way that inspires you, in a way that propels you to action. And something that's so nice about this is a love that makes you feel more confident, and it makes you feel better about yourself. As opposed to, sometimes when we have feelings or admire someone, we kind of put them on a pedestal, and then we feel not good enough, or we feel like, yeah, what if I'm not good enough for them? What if they're out of my league? That's not what this is like at all. So probably you feel very validated by this person, or whoever this is, and loving them actually makes you feel better about yourself, and it makes you like what you do more, and just enjoy the world more. I often see with the Ace of Wands this feeling of the world gaining color again after we've been seeing the world in black and white. It looks so vibrant again. So this love is really just increasing your appreciation for life overall. Now, the Ace of Wands can also talk about chemistry, physical attraction, and sexual attraction. If that's not your thing, like if you're not comfortable with that kind of message, or if that's not something you're looking for, then you can omit this from your reading. But for some of you, there could be like a sexual connection, a sexual relationship with someone that is going really well, and that's making you feel like energized and feel really good and feel really inspired, and you're very compatible. There could be that kind of relationship going on as well. This could also be just like a flirty energy. You don't have to actually be like getting down with this person unless you want to. You definitely can, but it could also just be like a flirty energy, like an exciting flirty energy. Yeah. So then we have the Knight of Wands, which is clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. I really like this. This is you reclaiming the timeline of your life. I really, really like this energy. Lizards could be significant because I just noticed the Knight of Wands has lizards on their attire. Also, when I look at this, I think of someone who has the sides of their head shaved. Is that called, what is that called? Undercut? Let me see. I mean, it could be a mohawk, but that's a bit more of an intense hairstyle. Undercut hairstyle. I'm looking it up right now. Yes. That's what I was thinking of. This kind of thing where the sides are shaved. Someone could have that kind of hair, whether that's you or someone else. Lizards make me think of protection, actually. It said, like, in Japan, sometimes we'll see lizards outside our home, like on the walls, and it's a sign that they're protecting the home. So there could be a message of protection here for you. And actually, that makes a lot of sense. You trust in your ability to protect yourself, and you trust in the divine's ability to protect you and to protect what is meant for you. And I know that when something is meant for me, I don't have to chase it down. When something is meant for me, I don't have to run after it because it will wait for me. And there's a message here about you, again, protecting your timeline and protecting your inner peace, and you setting the pace for your life. So we're moving away from that societal pressure to do more faster or the societal pressure to get things done by a certain time. And I am seeing a musician as an example. You don't have to be a musician, but these kind of examples just come very easily to me, so you can apply it to your own situation. It would be like if a musician has all of this external pressure to put out new music. You know, all their fans are going like, where's the new album? Where's the album? And maybe they feel that pressure to stay relevant or, you know, but they say, no, I'm not going to put something out just because there's this external pressure. I'm not going to put something out just for the sake of putting something out unless I feel called to. And I'm going to really take my time with what I'm working on. I'm not going to let the passing of time pressure me like, oh, I better put something out quickly, because that doesn't feel authentic. So like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait. And I would be doing a disservice to you if I just, you know, spit something out quickly to be like, here, you want something new, here, take this. That doesn't feel good. It feels cheap. You're really embracing the quality over quantity. You're embracing not rushing, not doing something just to do something. You know what I mean? Just because, oh, like, it's been a while, I better do something. No, you're going to take your time to do the best you can. And this can go for anything in your life, you know? I'm not going to get married just because my parents are pressuring me to. I'm not going to get married just because society is pressuring me to. I don't feel ready. We don't feel ready. And if other people don't understand that, that's too bad. Because we're like, to just try to be meeting some deadline, someone else's deadline at that, you know, it feels cheap. It doesn't feel authentic. So I think this is you no longer placing deadlines on yourself, and you're also kind of freeing yourself from the concept of time and just trusting like things are going to happen whenever they're meant to. And if I don't feel ready, I don't feel ready. And I'm not going to get anxious about the passing of time either. You're not going to get anxious looking of like, oh my gosh, I haven't, like in the musician example, oh my gosh, I haven't put anything out in 6 months. You're not going to get anxious like that. You're just like, when it happens, it happens. And that leads to a much more easy and comfortable way of life. And it's such a bold and courageous move in a society that wants us to do things faster and faster and faster, really just so that people at the top can get richer, honestly. And I don't know, maybe this sounds a bit like a conspiracy. Maybe this is not intentional. I don't know. But the busier we are and the faster we're moving, the more distracted we are from our inner world, the less we connect with our soul, the less we connect with that inner guidance. And when you're not connected to your inner guidance, you're more easily manipulated and influenced, and you're more easily like, you can instill doubt in that person's mind, versus if you take the time to really connect with yourself, you're not going to get swayed so much by that external shit. But if you're in a constant state of distraction, you're more easily swayed. So I don't know. The more you slow down and the more you connect with yourself, you're probably also going to feel that you become less impressionable, less easily influenced, less easily manipulated, less easily distracted. It just feels like you're really slowing down and being much more, mindful and present, and really, really taking your time, because you know that it's there in abundance for you and you don't have any reason to rush. This is so empowering. I really like that. Okay, and then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Queen of Wands. This is not really falling into your lap, honestly. This is something that has accumulated over time that maybe you feel it's really solidifying itself now. But you're building some kind of legacy. You're leaving some kind of legacy behind. I just heard legend status. Interesting. So some of you are reaching legend status, or you're becoming a veteran in something. You're really making your name somewhere. I'm also seeing the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I think it's called, where they have the stars and then people get their name, like celebrities get their name in the stars. So you could be leaving your mark somewhere like that. Maybe there's some plaque that is going up for you, or your name is up on a wall somewhere. You could also be in some kind of ranking. You know, when publications will do, the top 100 business people of the year, or like the best whatever in this industry of 2024, like you could be making it onto one of those rankings. Interesting. You could be reaching a long-term financial goal of yours very soon as well. This is like lasting success and lasting wealth. And I think you understand that this is built by taking your time. It's not built by churning out more and more things quickly. It's built by taking your time and doing stuff that is really meaningful and valuable and high quality. And you're moving with intention and not giving into the peer pressures and societal pressures of like timelines and deadlines is really going to, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but it's really going to make you stand out and it's really going to work in your favor. That was so weird. I just like forgot what I was saying. Whatever, it's okay. I think that made sense. So yeah, and I feel like the Queen of Wands means it's validation, but not from other people. It's validating to you that, see, my approach was right all along. See, I was right to ignore those pressures. I was right to refuse to do it in everybody else's way. I was right to honor myself and my own timeline and to stay true to my values and I'm also hearing to not go with the trends. I was right to not care about trends. I was right to not copy what everybody else is doing. I was right to not compare my journey to other people's and then feel pressure that I should be doing something more like them, or I should have been more like this person by now. You really rejected that kind of self-comparison. And now that's proving to have been the right way for you to go. Now that you have this legacy, now that you have this legend status, now that you're, getting this recognition or making that ranking. I don't know what that's about. Let me know if you know what that's talking about. You could also be, like, I'm also thinking of someone who's at the top of their class, or someone who's valedictorian, or, honors student. They're getting that. Like maybe this could also be someone who they took some extra time getting their degree, even though there was pressure that they should complete this in 4 years and move on to the next stage of their life. Maybe their family was pressuring them, but they really, really took their time with it. And then they ended up graduating with like the highest grades, or with, the highest level of honors. And they received all of these, accolades, I think is the word, all of this distinctions, all of this recognition from their peers. And they're like, I'm so glad I didn't listen to people and just like hurry up and graduate. I'm so happy that I took my time and I wrote this paper that I'm really, really proud of, even though it took me twice as long as everybody else. But my paper is actually going to have a lasting impact in the field and be referenced for years to come, versus people who were just like, yeah, let's just get this over with, Which, look, if that's their journey, that's how I went through university. I was like, let's just get this over with. Let's just get a 70 and graduate, So that's totally fine. I'm not judging, but I feel like you're going to be really happy that you took your time with something. So no, this is not something that is falling into your lap. You've accumulated this over time. Definitely. Last thing is that you could be going through some kind of change in your fashion, expressing yourself differently. Yeah, that's also something that's coming through. Just a little tidbit at the end there. So, okay, let's get you some oracle cards. What else do my group number 3s need to know? This looks like an elevator. Okay, I'm getting penthouse vibes. You could be living in a penthouse or staying in a penthouse when you're on vacation. You could be moving to a higher floor if that's something that you want. So you have, nicer view. This could also be that something is grounding itself in your life. A manifestation is grounding itself. Perhaps this love is grounding itself. It started out as just a crush, but then the more you get to know each other, you're like, oh, this could be something real. This could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh, and now looking in your eyes, I feel in my heart the start of something new. High School Musical. But what if it works out? I've got this. I love that. It's always what if it doesn't work out? But what if it does work out? So maybe we're like committing to something and to ground something in our reality without being afraid. Because, oh my gosh, yeah, that kind of reminds me of the message at the very start of this reading that was like someone feeling skeptical because things are going too well. And maybe that's how you feel about this new love, where it's like, you're too perfect. Like, you can't be real. Maybe you're thinking that way about each other. This is too perfect. This feels too good. There must be something that we're missing. There must be some catch, What's the catch, universe? And the universe is like, just say yes to it. Just open up to it. What if it doesn't work out? But what if it does work out? The letters TG are coming to my mind because I'm thinking of Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical. So TG could be, or GT, could be significant initials, or just one of those letters could be significant. I am able to connect with my inner child. Didn't we talk about this love is making you feel younger? And I love that this looks like a flame because that's what the Ace of Wands is all about. It's about rekindling that spark in your life. You are really connecting with your inner child. And I see that here with your new love. I see that here with taking your time to experiment and to do things in your own way, because all of those pressures to like hurry up, do more, that comes from the adult world, from the world of disconnected and anxious adults. Whereas children could just play around for hours with their vivid imagination. You could also be really experiencing an expansion of your imaginative capacities and your creative capacities. You could be revisiting a subject that you used to hate as a child, maybe just because you didn't like school or you didn't like how it was taught in school. But now you're getting back into it. The reason I say that is because when I was shuffling, I heard mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. And then I was thinking about science class. So it could be a situation where like maybe you hated science class. Maybe your teacher wasn't nice, or maybe it was just a boring lesson. Maybe the curriculum was bad. But then as an adult, you get really into science by yourself and you study it by yourself and realize like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. Like, I kind of hate that school made me think this was boring because it's so freaking interesting. So it does kind of feel like something that would be traditionally taught in school. So science, chemistry, biology, history, this kind of thing, geography. You're like, wait a minute, this is actually super fascinating. We have, look at these together. But what if it works out? I've got this. It's all working out. Best case scenario. Oh, your inner child is gonna love this. They deserve the best case scenario. You deserve the best case scenario. And then we have, I listen and tune into my true emotions. And what I immediately notice about this imagery is that like there's some places where they overlap, but then there's also some places where they don't. And I think this just really depicts that emotions are messy. And you can have emotions that are all, consistent with each other and all on the same page, but sometimes we have emotions that are conflicting, and it's not about one of them being right and one of them being wrong. They can be conflicting, and that doesn't mean you're a hypocrite, I want to say. That doesn't, like, for example, you can understand that real abundance transcends money. And then you can also want money. And that doesn't make you like a hypocrite, or because humans are contradictory. Humans are contradictions like that. You can you want to have your freedom and independence, but simultaneously want to cling to someone and want to have a person hold you down. Like it doesn't, it's not always so neatly black and white like that. So I think this is about making space for your emotions and the places where they intersect and it nice and neatly makes sense, and also the places where they're kind of messy and contradicting each other. Yeah. And that may also be healing for your inner child. So group number 3s, these are all of the messages that I'm seeing for you. So we're going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack once again for collaborating with me. And thank you to the creators of these beautiful, beautiful decks. As you can see, they go so beautifully together. I'm going to have this bundle link down below, and I'll also have the individual decks if there's one in particular you would like to check out. And remember that you can get the bundle at a 10% discount with the code KINO, and you can also get these Inori Oracle cards 10% off using the code KINO. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 timeless exclusive pick a card readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month, which you can choose the topic for. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so, so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self. I also want to say something like, I'm sending love to your peers, like to your peers, to your friend, to your team. May you all be blessed. May you all prosper. Yeah, sure. And I'm sending love to your higher self, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones and your guides, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the yellow Nephrite, this is going to be your reading. There's a few things that I want to share with you before we get into the cards. And the first thing is that when I was filming the intro, and I hold up your stone so you can get a closer look at it, when I got to your group, oh my God, it's happening again. When I got to your group, I started burping. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a message for group number 4. Like there's something we have to speak up about. There's something we have to get off our chest. And then now, fast forward to now, where I sat down to film your group and it happened again. So the burping is a sign for my group number 4. It's like there's something you need to speak about. Your throat chakra wants to release something. So that's one thing. The word antioxidants came to me when I sat down to film your group. So maybe that's just a confirmation for literally one person who is watching this, if that has been on your mind recently, incorporating antioxidants, or that might be something that you want to look into. Also, there was a message about you discovering and getting into a new hobby that is very stress relieving, just low stakes, relaxing, and also very wholesome. And obviously that's subjective, what counts as a wholesome hobby. But an example that came to my mind was bird watching. Like, it's just very sweet and wholesome. You're just looking at birds. You're just appreciating nature. Or like pressing, you know, when you like press flower petals and then they dry and they look really pretty. Or, you know, some kind of craft or something where you're in nature. I don't know. It just felt like a wholesome hobby that you're getting into. And maybe you know what I mean. Maybe that's a confirmation for some of you. But yeah, those are the messages that were coming up for you. So let's get into your cards now. These are the decks that we're going to be using today. We have the Avisomnia Tarot and the Inori Oracle cards. And together, these are the KINO Tarot Fall Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I absolutely love these decks individually. I love them together. They look so, so good together, which you're gonna see in just a second. I think a lot of you are familiar with Tarot Stack already, but for those of you who have not heard of them yet, they're an online shop that carries a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks, and their collection is always growing. They carry decks from creators from all over the world, all different styles and genres, and different levels as well, from beginner all the way to advanced. And I'm so grateful for the work that Tarot Stack does in our community, because not only have they provided us with this space to discover new creators and to benefit from their messages, but they also actively work with these creators to help them get their decks printed and published and marketed. So it's amazing for creators who just want to focus on their craft, but they need a bit of help with the business side of things. Tarot Stack is there for them, and actually 50% of their profits go to funding these indie deck projects. They have published a few of their own original publications so far, and they're working on some more. I might be working on a little something with them as well, which I'm very excited about. So I'm gonna have this bundle linked down below. I'm also going to link the individual decks. If there's one in particular you feel called to, you can check out every card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do feel called to the bundle, you can get a 10% discount with the code KINO. You can also get a 10% discount on this Inori Oracle deck with the same code, because this is their original publication. Yeah, so thank you so much, Tarot Stack. Thank you so much to you guys. And let's get into your reading. So we're going to start with the tarot. What is about to fall into group number 4's lap? There is a message about, I'm hearing an unusual pairing or an odd pairing, and this message seems to be about you really getting along well with someone that you didn't think you were gonna like. So maybe you're meeting someone new and your first impression of them is like, I don't know if we're gonna get along that well, but then as time goes by, you just become the best of friends. So a new friendship about to fall into your lap. What else for my group number 4s? We have the 4 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Page of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, beautiful, the Four of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. The overall feeling that I'm getting for my group number 4s is that life is going to be gentle to you. Like you're going to get to enjoy a softer life in this next chapter. Even in the intuitive messages at the start, there is something about stress being relieved and relaxing. And I do kind of feel like that's an overall energy in your life at this time. Some of you also could be visiting your hometown, going back home to see friends and family, or you get to visit the place that feels most like home to you, even if that's not technically not, the city you were born and raised. It could just be a part of the world that really, really feels like your home, and you will get to go there. So getting into these cards, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Ten of Cups. I do think this Four of Pentacles is talking about money. That's like the first feeling I got when I saw it, with the hands holding the coins. Specifically something about you getting to save money or getting to hold on to more money. So there could be an expense of yours that is going away, like someone else is covering it, you don't have to worry about it anymore, or the amount of the expense is dramatically decreasing. You could have some financial investment that is paying off. You thought you were gonna have to make this really big payment, but then it got waived. I'm hearing maybe some fee got waived. You don't have to pay that expense anymore. You could be getting a significant refund on something. Like you're getting to hold on to money, or money is coming back to you. Your expenses are being cut. Someone could be paying for something for you. It's as if you had to buy a new, maybe you have to buy a new phone because your phone broke. And so you had already taken that out of your budget and expected, okay, I'm going to have a bit less this month because I have to buy this new phone. But then someone buys the new phone for you, then your budget is a lot less stressful. Like you don't have to worry about that anymore. Gaining that kind of support. Some of you, I don't know if this is going to resonate for everybody, but you could also be getting into a relationship or getting married. And so now you have that support from your partner. So you don't have to work as much, or you don't have to worry about money as much. Maybe you're moving in with someone, and so you don't have to pay rent anymore. Like you're moving into your significant other's house. It's something like that. And it is something that's going to make you very happy and very emotionally fulfilled, this financial security. So this would lead me to believe that for many of you, maybe money has been a primary worry for you. And so knowing that it's going to be taken care of brings you a lot of joy and a lot of peace. Or this could also be financial security as the result of something that makes you really happy. So, in the example of moving into your partner's house, you're probably motivated by the love for your partner. Like you're doing it for emotional fulfillment reasons, but then it also just happens to save you a lot of money. You could also be moving somewhere that's a lot more affordable, and it just dramatically decreases stress from your life. I'm seeing someone who used to live in the heart of the city, and they were not only was their mental health bad in the big city, but the cost of living was so high. And it's like, what am I even doing? Like, if I really loved life here, then it would make sense to be spending this money, maybe. But like, I'm not even having a good time, and I'm paying this much rent. Like, that doesn't make sense. So, making life decisions to prioritize your mental health, and then you just happen to save a ton of money from it. For those of you who do not enjoy your current job, this is also a really good sign for finding a higher paying job that you like more. So you don't have to choose between financial security and enjoyment. You can find something that you really, really like to do, and that is going to bring you a lot of A lot of financial security. Also, something coming through is something being covered by insurance. So you don't have to worry about the expenses. Okay, so next we have the High Priestess, which is clarified by the Four of Cups. You are definitely going to have time to just do nothing, which I feel like is really going to be a blessing for you. Where life was once just hectic and like go, go, go all the time, and you always have a million things to do, finally there is a moment of quiet. You could be completing a really big project soon, something that was very time consuming and now it's finally done. You could finally be completing a to-do list. And it feels like a miracle. It's like, I thought this to-do list would never be over, because it seemed like as soon as I check one thing off of it, there's like 3 new things that I have to add to it. Something finally cleaned up. This could also be like you were overwhelmed with having to reply to everybody. There's so many, I'm behind on my messages. I have to respond to everybody. And it seems like I reply to one person and then like 3 new messages come in and you're finally getting back to everybody. Something that you thought was endless and that seemed like 1 step forward, 3 steps back is finally done, and now you can just breathe. And specifically, it was coming through that you can do nothing, like sweet, sweet nothing. So you could be going on a vacation very soon, or just taking time to yourself in your home. I do kind of get low-key homebody sort of energy from these cards. So just getting to enjoy cozy time at home where you can literally do anything. And from that nothingness, from that stillness, will come some kind of inspiration. When you allow yourself to just be still, it will arise what you really want to do. I wonder if for some of you, that's where that new hobby is coming from. It's like, I don't know, I was bored on a Wednesday and I just decided to try it. And now it's my new hobby. And yeah, with this financial security as well, you could be able to invest in your hobbies and really have fun with it. So, in that bird watching example, maybe this person can buy some binoculars. Maybe they can buy a really high quality camera so that they can photograph the birds. Maybe they buy a journal so that they can make notes of the different birds that they see. They're starting to purchase items or equipment that will help them enjoy their hobby more. I'm getting into DJing recently, so I just bought like secondhand CDJ, which I'm so excited about, and I bought a table to put it on, and like I'm buying songs so that I can use them. And it's like the fact that I'm able to do that, to invest in this hobby that's just for my enjoyment, is such a blessing. So thank you so much to you who is watching this, because that's why I can do that. So you may be able to really invest in your hobby soon, and invest in something that is just for your enjoyment. And that feels so good because, when you have money coming in and then you have to budget, what do you have to prioritize? Like the necessities. You have to prioritize paying the bills, and anything going towards hobbies and enjoyment is like just whatever's left over at the end. And maybe sometimes there isn't any left over for that. So it feels like, it just feels like a really lovely blessing that you're able to financially invest in something purely for like pleasure and leisure. And I also think for any of you who feel guilty about receiving money or guilty about wanting money, I feel like that's going to be going away, because you realize actually how important this is for your mental health, like to be able to do these things for yourself. So definitely we're getting blessed with free time, really good sleep. That's coming through as well. That kind of sleep where you just get knocked out and then you wake up like 10 hours later. That kind of good sleep is coming to you. And good dreams, okay? And this is going to be a good message for those of you who struggle with nightmares, night terrors, sleep paralysis, insomnia, things like that, noisy neighbors, whatever it might be. You're going to be left alone in peace and you can get good sleep, and you can connect with your higher self through your uninterrupted dreams, connect to your spiritual team. A passed on loved one could be visiting you in a dream. And there's something there about it. You used to dream about something that made you sad, but now it makes you happy. So, I don't know, for example, my cat passed away. And so if this was me, maybe like at first when I saw her in my dreams, it made me sad. But now I've come to find comfort in seeing her there because I understand that like she's visiting me. So something that once used to make you sad, maybe you just weren't ready. You weren't ready to revisit it. You weren't ready to look back. Now you can look back on it and feel happy and feel grateful and actually welcome that experience. And on that note, something else that may be falling into your lap, I guess this would be kind of an epiphany for those of you who have been having nightmares or just unpleasant dreams. You may have an epiphany about what they've been trying to tell you, something that needs to be resolved or something that needs to be acknowledged. And then once you acknowledge that thing, the nightmares stop. So maybe you were having dreams about drowning or something, and then it's really, really disturbing you, but then you realize that your subconscious was trying to tell you that this means you're feeling overwhelmed in life and you need to simplify your life, or this means that you're feeling powerless in life and you need to set more boundaries. Like, it wasn't just to torment you. There was something your subconscious was trying to tell you. And then once you implement those changes, the dreams stop. So we're not having nightmares anymore. We're having good dreams. We're having good dreams and we're having good sleep and we're feeling rested. And you may also notice that a lot of your fatigue was coming from, it was psychological of like, oh, I don't want to do another day. I don't want to do this. And so when you start to make changes in your life where you're doing things you genuinely enjoy, you're going to feel more energized in the morning because you actually want to like have this new day and you want to go out and actually do the things that you have planned. It's things that you look forward to. And then finally, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Seven of Wands. When I saw the Seven of Wands, the phrase something worth fighting for came to my mind. Also, so funny, I just realized the Page of Pentacles has a dream catcher between their horns. So that message may be for many of you, more of you than I thought. I'm sorry if that's the case and you do have nightmares or unpleasant recurring dreams, but it definitely seems like they're going to get better. Page of Pentacles too can talk about a new project, a new thing you're investing in. So that definitely seems to be a message for you, like having a new passion and also having the resources to invest in that passion and to actually do it and get better at it. And then Seven of Wands, something worth fighting for. This could also be talking about a new challenge. The Seven of Wands, it is like a fight. It's a fight, it's a struggle, it's an uphill battle. But in some way, this might actually be enjoyable to you. Especially if you've reached a level of mastery in most things in your life and you want a new challenge. You're like, I want to be a beginner again. I want to be in that learning phase again. I want to feel like, oh, this is difficult and I'm struggling to learn something new, because that's stimulating. And then when you do get the hang of it, it's so rewarding. And also, it's very good for your brain to make it do unfamiliar things. Even though it can be frustrating at first, it's good for your brain. Okay, it's good for your memory, for your cognitive function, really to do something completely new so that you can use parts of your brain that you've never used before. So I think you're trying something completely new. Let's get a clarifier for this Seven of Wands. Why is she here? Why is this Seven of Wands here? Oop, okay. Our clarifier fell on the floor, so just a moment. Nine of Wands. Okay, so we're fighting for something and we're not giving up. A new idea that you're not going to give up on, a new project or a new venture that you're not going to give up on. It's like it really feels like you're intentionally doing something hard because of character building or because of it makes you smarter, it makes you stronger. And yeah, that's so interesting because there was a message of from this stillness arises the inspiration to do what you really want to do. And there's just, let me know if you know what this is referring to, because there's just a sense of you wanting to challenge yourself to something, wanting to do something new that you know is going to be hard. Maybe you're like intentionally choosing something that isn't your strong suit. I just saw 2222. So, you know, rather than picking something that you already know you're good at, you're picking something that you know you're bad at. So let's say, for example, you have terrible hand-eye coordination or something. So you're like, I'm gonna take up darts. I'm gonna take up basketball. I'm gonna take up archery, you know, where you have to really be coordinated. That's kind of like aim, I guess. Maybe you have terrible aim, and so you're purposely choosing to do something where you have to have good aim. Maybe you are terrified of speaking in front of people, so you choose a new venture that makes you have to speak in front of people. This is you taking on that challenging mindset and embracing a beginner mindset and taking on something that maybe you avoided in the past because it was difficult, but now you're like, no, I want to do something difficult. I feel like that's good for my growth. And as long as I'm avoiding these things, it's going to have power over me. And also, it's the very things that we have to give extra effort to that we're going to end up being better than the average person. Like the average person who never had to struggle with it, they're not going to give it as much effort or have to give it as much focused effort. And I think you're realizing if you can slay this dragon, interesting wording, if you can slay this dragon, then really you're going to be unstoppable. And there's nothing that you can't do. I'm imagining, and this is probably not literal, I'm imagining a fictional scenario where you have opponents and you have enemies. And they're like, okay, we know that group number 4's weak spot is that they have terrible aim. So that's what we can use to their disadvantage. What are they going to do when they show up and you faced that difficulty and now you have really good aim? Now you don't have any weak spots, okay? So this looks like you're looking at yourself and you're thinking, what am I bad at? What's my weak spot? What do I avoid because it's really hard for me? And I'm going to do exactly that. And then it's over for you bitches. Like it's that kind of vibe, okay? So let's get into your oracle cards. Ooh, okay. We have, I listen and tune into my true emotions. I allow myself to spread my wings and be free. So not only are you listening to your true emotions, but you're allowing them to be heard. You're allowing yourself to express them. Because that's what emotions want. They want to be expressed. Otherwise, they just sit there and they never go away. I have access to divine knowledge, which I kind of love that because By listening to and tuning into your true emotions, you will access divine knowledge. That's very high priestessy as well. It's the inner knowing, the infinite wisdom that is within, the divine knowledge that is within. The high priestess knows that to find the answers, you don't look out to the world around you, you look inside yourself. Oh, I now welcome in my soul family to join my life. That's beautiful. And there is that message about a new friend coming in. So maybe that new friend is a soul family member. And it's funny, like at first, we always talk about when you meet your soulmates, when you meet your soul family, you'll just know, you'll immediately feel warm and fuzzy, or you'll immediately feel very intense. But there's really no universal way that you're supposed to feel towards a soulmate. I think we like to put it in boxes like that because maybe that makes it easier for us to identify them, but there's no rules, you know? Your soul family could be someone who you don't like at first. Like that's allowed, and that's very much a thing that could happen. Or someone who you think, I don't know if I'm going to get along with this person, and then they end up being like your best friend. It's funny, I know this is not exactly the same as a person, but I often find that the songs that I become obsessed with, that I listen to on repeat over and over again, are the ones that the first time I hear it, I'm like, it's okay. And then I'm like, kind of want to hear that song again. And then I become really obsessed with them. So I think you're meeting someone who at first you're like, I don't really know about this person, but then the more you see them, you just become like obsessed in a healthy way, obviously. Like you become obsessed with each other. And I also kind of wonder if, you know, because looking at this chain of events that lead to something, so it could be that either getting into this new hobby leads you to meeting your soul family, or challenging you to do this thing challenging yourself to do this thing that you specifically don't like, or that you're specifically not good at. That could also be something that leads you to your soul family. But yeah, that's beautiful. I love these messages for you. So that's everything I have for you today. So we're going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And thank you so much once again to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me. Thank you to the creators of these beautiful decks. It's such a pleasure to use them. I love how they go together. I'm going to have this bundle linked down below. And I'm also going to link the individual decks if there's one in particular you would like to check out. And remember that you can get this bundle for 10% off with the code KINO. And you can also get these Inori Oracle cards for 10% off with the same code. And thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 exclusive pick a card readings. They are timeless. You can watch them at any time. And we also have 2 new ones every month, and you get to pick the topic for those. So I will have that linked down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 5s. So if you guys chose the Garnet, this is going to be your reading. I do know that Garnet is the birthstone for the month of January. Maybe that's why some of you chose this group, but if you didn't know that, maybe the month of January is going to be significant for you, or somebody born in January. And there is a message coming through for you as well that I feel like it could be a little bit vague, but if it's for you, you will know what it's referring to. The message is that you are going to feel so much better almost instantly once you cut something out of your life, even if it feels kind of scary or overwhelming or difficult at first, it's kind of like everything leading up to before you cut it out is the hard part. But then once you do it, you feel so much better and you're like, this is the best decision I've ever made. I feel so good. Yeah. So that was coming through. And there's something about you going through an inner transformation where, like, for any of you who worry about being cringe or worry about being weird, that is all flying out the window. I think you're really becoming uninhibited in your self-expression and in expressing your passion, that you don't care. I'm hearing the word dorky. Like, you don't care if you come across as dorky or weird or lame or cringe or too much or whatever someone might try to call you. You just don't even care anymore. Like, life is too short to worry about that kind of thing. And expressing yourself freely just feels so good. So you could be being more vocal, being more outgoing, experimenting more with your style, with your creativity, and just not worrying about how it's received, because just being authentic to yourself is what's the most important and what feels the best for you. So yeah, those were the intuitive messages that were coming through. So now let's get into your cards. These are the decks that we're going to be using today. We have the Avisomnia Tarot. I got distracted because I just saw 222, and I feel like that's happened a lot in today's reading. 222, 2222, that kind of thing. We have the Avisomnia Tarot and the Inori Oracle cards, and together these are the KINO Tarot Fall Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I absolutely love this bundle. I love the decks individually, and they look so beautiful together. They really complement each other. I think many of you are familiar with Tarot Stack already, but just in case you haven't heard of them before, they're an online shop that features a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. Their selection is always growing, from creators from all over the world, all different styles and genres, from beginner decks all the way to advanced. I am so grateful for Tarot Stack for our many collaborations that we've done together, and just for what they do in this community. Not only do they provide this platform where we can discover new creators and decks that we resonate with, but they're also an active supporter of indie deck creators, with 50% of their profits going towards funding new indie deck projects. So tarot and oracle deck creators can partner with Tarot Stack to get their projects printed and published and marketed out there into the world, so that they can just keep focusing on their craft and their creative pursuits. So I'm really grateful for that. They have published a few decks so far and are working on some more. I'm working on a little something with them as well, which I'm very excited about. So I'm gonna have this bundle linked down below. I'm also gonna have each individual deck linked. If there's one in particular you feel called to, you can check out every card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do feel called to the bundle, you can get a 10% discount with the code KINO. You can also get a 10% discount on these Inori cards, because this is a Tarot Stack publication. So thank you so much, Tarot Stack. Thank you so much to you guys. And let's get into your reading. So we are going to start with the Avisomnia Tarot. What is about to fall into group number 5's lap? Why did I hear a baddie? Oh man. Okay. I don't know, maybe some of you guys are manifesting a new partner who is very attractive. Okay, let's see. We have Judgment. That's a beautiful Judgment card. I feel like this card doesn't come out that often because I've used this deck so many times, but I feel like I'm stricken by the beauty of this Judgment card. Like it's the first time I'm seeing it. Maybe that's like a love at first sight. Love at first sight, or something is being rekindled. I'm kind of thinking of, maybe it's a bit cheesy, but in romance movies or in a love song, they'll say something like, every time I look at you, it's like the first time, you know, like they're still so breathtaking, swept off their feet. It's like the first time. I'll make it feel like the first time. Love Me Harder. There's a remix of that song that's very good. I'm gonna write that down. If you wanna keep me, you gotta love me harder. Okay. What do we have for my group number 5s? We have the 5 of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the Tower. That's very interesting. The 10 of Swords, also very interesting. And the Queen of Swords. Wow. I feel like this represents a person that you are manifesting into your life. Whether it's romantic, friendship, like it doesn't have to be romantic, although I do kind of get that sense for a lot of you. But this is someone who has such a beautiful and inspiring balance within them because they're intuitive, they're sensitive, they're compassionate, they're a dreamer, you know, but they're also very sharp and very smart and they don't take any shit. And that's a lovely combination, right? When you have this big compassionate heart, but also you have boundaries and you don't take any BS. That's this person. They have that balance of the Cups energy and the Swords energy. And there's someone coming into your life. I mean, this could also be an aspect of you. So if this resonates for being a part of you, then you can definitely claim it in that way. But I see this really positive influence on you where you realize the ways in which you've settled or the ways in which you're selling yourself short. So an example of this would be like a person who they're in a relationship that really doesn't make them happy and they're in a job that they don't really like and they're just kind of coasting by in life. And then their bestie, their best friend is like, kind of gives them a wake-up call of like, what are you doing? What are you doing with this person? Or what are you doing in this job? Like, why are you doing this? And it's harsh. Well, no, it's not harsh. It's direct. It's direct, but it's not harsh. It's like a loving reality check. I feel like you're about to get that from someone in your life, or you're about to give this to yourself, because Judgment is also about, like you can really see here, about seeing the truth of a situation and exposing the truth. And it's a major arcana, so it comes in a pretty big way, and you cannot hide from the truth. 5 of Wands, it's conflicts in your life, things that are out of alignment. Someone could also be shedding light on the sort of contradictions in your energy where it's like you say you want this in your life, but then you're doing this. You say you want peace in your life, and yet you keep engaging with this person who you know brings drama. You say you want to be healthier, and yet you keep engaging in these unhealthy habits. Like, and we all do things like that, right? So this is not a judgment, but I think that there's a calling out of the ways in which your actions have been inconsistent with your words, or your actions have been inconsistent with your attentions. It can even just be something like, you keep saying you're gonna pursue this dream. You keep saying you're gonna start this project, and it never happens. Like, you never get around to it. And it could even be something as simple as a friend just very earnestly being like, when are you gonna finally start that project? You've been talking about it for months. When are you finally going to, get moving with it? Or you've been complaining about this relationship for months and it doesn't seem to be getting better. Are you sure you want to stay in it? Like, just kind of, it doesn't even have to be this harsh or rude thing, but just someone giving you that kind of wake up call of like, man, this disalignment or this conflict has been persisting in my life. And if I want it to change, I got to do something different. And they're bringing something to light for you like that. And I think oh my gosh, that's so funny. I just realized this is basically that intuitive message that came through at the start of the reading. That was like, when you cut something out of your life, you're going to feel so much better. Even if leading up to cutting it out, it's scary or it feels difficult. The second you do it, you immediately feel better. You're like, oh my gosh, that's such a relief. I'm imagining someone like deleting their ex's number. It's just an example, right? But they're scared because it's like, oh my gosh, no, like, I'm not ready to move on. But then as soon as they delete it, they're like, they snap out of something and they think, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. I feel free. I'm also imagining someone cutting up a credit card. I don't know. And they're so scared to do it, but then it feels so good. Getting rid of a possession, cutting something out of their diet even, that they're like, I can't do it. But then once they do it for a few days, they feel so much better and they're never going back. This is such a specific message, someone's helping you to realize what you need to cut out of your life. And once you do it, you immediately feel better. And I do feel like it's something you've been saying you need to do for a long time. I really should quit that. I really should stop talking to that person. I really should walk away from this. I really should stop doing that. But it's just kind of talk. And again, we all do things like this, right? There's no judgment, no shame here. And sometimes we just need a little nudge. Sometimes we need a little kick in the butt to get us going and to finally follow through with the things we say we're going to do and the things we know that we need to do. And it looks like for my group number 5s, there is something that needs to be cut out, ended. That's going to make you feel much, much better. And this might actually be a pretty short reading because all of the cards seem to be talking about this. You're seeing the truth of something. The truth of something is getting exposed. We're seeing it for what it is, which is disalignment. It's not for your highest good. The Tower is something that is going to fall apart because it's built on a shaky foundation. 10 of Swords is an ending too. It feels like you are ending something before it inevitably ends. I actually think it was Lexi the Leo, a fellow reader whom I love, who posted on her community a while ago. I think she had taken some time off from doing readings, and she posted something or reposted something saying like, if you don't choose a day to rest, your body will choose it for you. And I was like, damn, if you overwork, you're going to get sick. So if you don't proactively choose that day to take a rest, then your body will just choose it for you. Like, you'll get sick and you'll have no choice but to rest. So it feels like something that was bound to fall apart anyway, but it's much better that you end it proactively and you get to choose to end it on your own terms. So, it could very well be something like that. You choosing to quit a job that is draining you and stressing you out before you burn out from it and you have no choice but to stop. The fact that you're able to make that choice proactively on your own terms, like in an empowered way, is very important. And there's something about you're not even giving yourself a chance to go back to your old ways or go back to how it was before. You know, like deleting a contact. It's not like you're just blocking them and then in a moment of weakness in the future, you can unblock them and talk to them again. It's literally deleting them so you don't have their contact info anymore. You're making it so that you cannot go back. It kind of feels like a death card energy, even though that's not here. I feel like the Tower and the Ten of Swords, it's very much giving a, this is ending. We got to end this. I'm also thinking of proactively trimming your hair before you get horrible split ends and then you have no choice but to chop off a bunch of it. So it's better that you do it yourself. It's better that you do it sooner rather than later. And like, let's just rip off the Band-Aid. We got to get it done. Queen of Swords as well. That's cutting away things that no longer serve you. Being able to look at the situation objectively and not get, yes, you have your emotions and you have your sensitivity, but to not get swayed by them, to not get swayed by the desire for temporary emotional comforts, but that in the long term is going to put you in even more discomfort. So yeah, like I said, this message is very, very specific. It's like a Band-Aid that needs to get ripped off. And you, looking at this, it's like you can see it coming. And I don't want this to be a scary message or to sound threatening or anything, but it's kind of like deep down, I know it's going to be bad news if I let this drag on for too much longer. I know that this is not going to be sustainable for me. Let's see. I'm also hearing something about an unhealthy coping mechanism. And maybe you don't even realize that you were using it as a coping mechanism. I guess I can use this as an example, but like a few years ago, I ate sugar like it was my full-time job. It was crazy. Like I would just eat sugary foods all day, and sometimes I wouldn't even eat proper food. And I used to think that it was just like, oh, I just like sweets. I just have a sweet tooth. But looking back, I'm like, I was low-key self-medicating. Like because people who have low serotonin tend to be drawn to that kind of food, you know? So looking back, I'm like, oh, my mental health was not good and I was trying to make myself feel better. But I didn't notice that in the moment. I was like, oh, I just like it, you know? But no. So I don't know, maybe there's something for you that it's some form of coping or like self-soothing, but you maybe don't realize that and you're seeing the truth about it. Honestly, this could even be, it could be like a friend or a loved one, but it could also be a therapist too. Or again, it could just be yourself, like a conclusion you're coming to by yourself. But again, this is something that's immediately going to make your life so much better. The answers I seek appear in my dreams. Interesting. For those of you who resonated with manifesting love or manifesting a partner, it could be someone you dream about, or you could dream about them before they come into your life. Also, for those of you who have dreams that you don't really understand what they mean, I feel like in some way they're trying to tell you about a change that needs to be made. And if you do have dreams about a particular person, like you have recurring dreams with a specific person, especially pay attention to those dreams that they are in. Because I feel like in some way this person is a guide to you. Like, yes, they're an incarnate human, but I feel like their higher self is kind of like a spirit guide for you. And probably your higher self is kind of like a spirit guide for them. And so when you appear in each other's dreams. So it's not a one-sided thing. You both appear in each other's dreams. And you usually appear when you have some kind of guidance to give to the other person. I gotta look back on my dreams too. Money keeps flowing to me effortlessly. Okay, some of you might be afraid to cut something out of your life because you're worried that it's going to affect your cash flow or affect your financial situation. For example, I know that this job isn't good for me, but it pays well. Or like, I know that this job isn't good for me, but if I stop, then I'm not going to make more money. Even it's so interesting that I was talking about Lexi the Leo, who's a fellow YouTube creator, because I think a lot of content creators feel that way. They're like, I'm feeling really tired. I feel like I'm going to burn out. I know that I need to take a break from posting, but if I stop posting, then the algorithm's going to stop pushing me and no one's going to watch my stuff. And, you start to think like that. And so that fear of losing money, which honestly isn't even necessarily the truth, you don't know. The people could still watch your content even while you're away. It's always a possibility for an old video to become successful. And also when you come back, I'm sure people are going to be waiting for you and will eagerly watch the next thing. So sometimes it's just irrational fears that we have. And if it's not money for you, it might be the fear of something you're going to lose. It could be like social life. Maybe this is someone being like, I know that I need to quit drinking, but I'm afraid of missing out because all my friends like get together and drink, and I'm afraid it's not going to be the same dynamic, or I'm afraid that I'm not going to get invited out anymore. Like there could be the social pressures like that as well. And I do feel like for you, because we have this message of money keeps flowing to me effortlessly, I do think that for you, you will find that these fears are unfounded. So for that person who quit drinking, they still get invited out to hang with their friends and it's still a lot of fun. And probably even some friends are going to be like, you know what, that's really cool because I've been thinking about quitting too. But if you never do it, you never know. Yeah, I've also even seen sometimes when YouTubers take a break, their subscribers will actively go back to watch their old content to make sure that they're supported. And I just think that's so sweet. So you'll be surprised that you really don't have to give up much to cut this out of your life, whatever it is. You don't have to give anything up. I'm also thinking of someone who like wants to go vegan and then they're worried that they're like, I'm not going to be able to eat my favorite foods, and they're afraid of losing that comfort or losing that pleasure. And then it's like, no, look, you can still eat everything you want. It's just now it's a vegan version and it's just as good. So I don't know, there's a feeling of you don't have to sacrifice as much as you think, or maybe you don't have to sacrifice anything. And it's just your brain conjuring up these fears to try to keep you where you are, because the brain likes the status quo. Even if the status quo isn't good for us, I feel like it doesn't really like change, and it will try to throw out all of these excuses or throw out all of these fears to keep you stuck where you are. Now I'm thinking of the song What You Waiting For by Gwen Stefani. I'm gonna put that too. You have some pop anthems here. What you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting? Oh, I love that song so much. That was like my musical awakening when I was like 8. I heard that song and I was like, I love this, what is this? And that's when I really started to get into, I wanted to make music and I wanted to learn Japanese, and because there's, there's some Japanese words in that song. That was an awakening for me, for sure. Fitting, because I feel like this is about you having an awakening and seeing the truth and seeing the way forward and seeing what you really need to do. Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice what this said. And I feel like that's part of the message. The fact that Spirit is saying, all of my worries are being taken care of, and I completely missed it, completely ignored it. Like, your worries, we're literally just talking about this. Anything you're worried about is not gonna happen. It's taken care of. And Spirit's trying to tell you that, but you don't hear them or you don't listen. Just like I now pull this card that says there's nothing to worry about, and I somehow glossed over it. I feel like that's very fitting. If you look around, you'll see the signs everywhere that it's gonna be okay. You're protected. Yeah, there's someone who visits you in your dreams and you visit them in their dreams, and you give each other this kind of love and protection, and you give each other strength. Ooh. That's really cute. Like, we're just talking about this special connection that you have, and then 2 cards fell out at the same time. And that's, yeah, I think that's the first time this happened in today's reading, that 2 of these fell out together. That is very cute. Oh my, and literally look at this. I now welcome in my soul family to join my life. And 2828 as I'm holding this up. Okay, so that person you dream about and who guides you as their higher self is your soul family. And I have more than enough time. This looks like a threshold. This kind of looks like a welcome mat and then a doorway that you walk through. You're being welcomed somewhere. You're welcoming in your soul family and they're welcoming you. And you're realizing it's not too late to do something. There's growing pressure, I feel. There's these growing societal pressures to reach milestones younger and younger. And to the point now where people who, like I'm almost 30 and a lot of my friends are around that age group. And I feel like for us to think that it's too late for us to start something new, that's crazy. Like, I know logically that it's crazy, but I think we all feel that way. And even people who are younger, like people who are 25, are feeling like they're too old to start this new thing or like past their prime. Obviously not everybody, but I think it's just crazy the pressure we put on people to figure their life out younger and younger and younger. And it's like, you have all of this time ahead of you. Why would you need to figure everything out at the beginning? Make use of all of your time. So I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe there's something you feel, oh, at this point in my life, it's too late to start this new journey. But it's really not. Like, it's never too late to learn something new. It's never too late to put yourself out there. And it really does become a a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? If I wanted to, okay, I was talking about, like, I'm learning how to DJ right now. I was talking about another group with this. But imagine, like, I'm 30 and I'm saying, oh, look, but all of these DJs started so much younger. They started when they were 20. And I don't really see a lot of people starting at 30, so I'm too old. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if I let that stop me from starting at 30, then the next 30-year-old is going to look around and say, oh, I don't see a lot of 30-year-olds starting this, so I guess there aren't any, and I'm not going to do it. And then it just perpetuates itself. So, you know, we need people of all walks of life starting the journeys that they want to start, and then creating representation in that space so that other people like you can be like, well, if they're doing it, then I can do it too. So I don't know. Let me know if that message is for you, of feeling like it's too late for you to start something, or like everybody is so much younger, or really anything about your identity that would make you feel like you can't do something. Because maybe you're meant to create more representation in a certain space and let others know that they can do it too. And maybe you're meant to do something with your soul family, or your soul family is the one who inspires you to just go for it. Interesting. Yeah, so I think that those are all the messages. Alas, I thought this group was going to be shorter, but I have been known to yap, so it's about the same length as all the other ones. So thank you guys so much for letting me do this reading for you. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack once again for collaborating with me. Thank you to the creators of these gorgeous decks. It's such a pleasure to be able to use them together. I'm going to have this bundle linked down below, as well as the individual decks. So if there's one in particular you want to take a closer look at, you can see all of the cards in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And remember that you can get a 10% discount off of this bundle with the code KINO, or you can also get 10% off this Inori Oracle with the same code. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch over 100 exclusive readings. They are timeless, and we also have 2 new readings every month, just like the ones on this channel, and you can decide the topic for those. So I will have that link down below. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!